Well, welcome back to Videocraft's Broadcast Brains series at SEMPTI 2017. Next with, well, I might just, got some quite noisy audio in the background here. What I'd like to introduce is Tim Schumann from Blackmagic Design, who's come to talk about the new URSA Mini Pro cameras. Thanks for coming on today, Tim.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. The URSA Mini Pro has been a really exciting camera for Blackmagic, and certainly I think the work that you've put in to bring the URSA Mini Pro out into market is absolutely evident in the feature set that it brings. And Tim, after this has come out, you've got some more things to show. So
yeah. Look, URSA Mini Pro's been a really, really popular camera for us. We've had a huge response after it was announced earlier this year. We did a lot of work to add a lot of features in there that people had asked for, like the ND filters, the interchangeable lens mount, SD cards as another recording option. And yeah, we've kept at it with a few extra accessories and things that we're just adding to kind of expand the basically the URSA Mini family of cameras. So earlier in the year at NAB, we showed the SSD recorder, the new F-mount, which allows Nikon lenses to be used on URSA Mini Pro, and also the URSA Mini mic mount. So yeah, we're just keeping on adding things that kind of add more functionality and give users more options for their cameras. So yeah, that's been good.
okay, well, you've got the Nikon F mount here, so going to take us through a little bit more of what we've got here. Yeah,
so I'm actually a Nikon lens fan myself. I've used Nikon cameras for years, and basically when we looked at the Nikon mount, one of the unique things about Nikon cameras is the mechanical iris control in most of their lenses, and sort of the backwards compatibility over the years. So what we did when we put together the Nikon mount is we've actually spent quite a bit of time and effort on making sure it's got a really nice large throw to the turn on the iris dial there. So we've extended the range to about 60 degrees so that you get a really sort of, it's basically feels like a cinema iris, where it's nice and firm, and you get a really long, nice throw. So if you're doing an iris pull during a shot or something like that, it's very smooth right through the range. So we're excited to get that out there, and we think there's lots of people who have already got existing Nikon glass that they're really keen to use. And now, rather than needing to use an adapter or something like that, you're actually buying a mount that replaces the mount on the camera. So they're quite robust, and it's quite a quick procedure to change across to them. It only takes a couple of minutes. So yeah, we've been really happy with that. We're hoping to ship that in August, and likewise with the microphone mount and then the SSD recorder. We're probably looking at September at this stage, so they're just around the corner.
Well, it's really quite exciting to see the development of the range, and now, excuse me, with basically 4 different lens mount options on the URSA Mini. That's pretty unique in the marketplace, I would have thought.
Yeah.
The SSD recorder, now, as you say, coming out in a little while. What does that offer on top of what we have with the current CFast and now with the SD card recording options?
Yep. So obviously with our cinema camera and production camera, and then also our hyperdeck and things like that, we've got a lot of users out there that have already got existing SSD media. It also enables much longer record times. So with a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte SSD, you can obviously run for much, much longer. It is intended to connect onto the back of the camera in a fairly integrated way so that it sits nicely on there. And it basically just gives you another option. So you've now got an option of basically 3 different types of media and 5 different slots. Initially speaking, it will show up as a second slot on your camera when you've got it attached. And it does take the SDI in and the out on the main SDIs on the back of the camera there. So it can't be used in a studio environment, but as an option for certainly for people who are shooting in documentary situations or somewhere where they just need much longer record times, that's really appealing. There's also, obviously, because SSDs are used in laptops and that sort of thing, they're a bit more widely available and price-wise in terms of bang for buck. they're really, really attractive. So we're pretty close with that. In terms of the tests that we've been doing so far, we should be able to get slightly higher frame rates out of them than some of the faster CFast cards, so that's exciting as well. But yeah, we're just keen to get it finished off and get it out.
Great. Well, another one that I wanted to show here with the with our URSA Mini range is this camera here. So this is also of the URSA Mini Pro. On here with the latest firmware, we've now got the Canon 18-80 EF Cinema Zoom fully supported. So tell us a little bit more about that, Tim, because
yes,
I really like this combination as far as it goes. We've got a really comfortable little handheld kit here, and it's really, it's a sexy little package.
Yeah, we did quite a bit of work on this one. So Canon were kind enough to get us a lens for a while to work on. With the 18-80, the protocol information has changed a bit from their stills lenses because it's obviously got the continual iris on it. So it took us a little while to work out, and from an engineering point of view, it was pretty tricky. But yeah, 4.4 software release has basically enabled that across all of our URSA Mini cameras. So not just the Pro, but the 4K and 4.6K EF as well. And it now means that, yeah, we can control iris, focus and zoom on that lens through the mount, which makes it a really nice, affordable lens for that style of lens, especially when being used in a studio environment or for live, live events and that sort of thing. And in terms of price point, there's really nothing else in the market that quite matches it for that type of sort of hybrid servo lens. Yeah,
absolutely. So what we've got here, we've got a little bit of material that we're going to run through now, and hopefully you can just sort of chat a little bit more about some of the things that we have here to run that have been shot on the URSA Mini and URSA Mini Pro.
Yep, great. So in terms of what we've seen people using these cameras for, it's really been a huge variety of materials. So when we first launched the 4.6K sensor earlier last year, it was adopted sort of across the board, and people started using it in ways that we weren't necessarily expecting. So it's been used for all sorts of high-end work. It's being used for promo shoots, live event shoots. This is some Motley Crue material, and it's really been used and adopted by a lot of different people. People are using it for landscape stuff. They're using it for reality TV, for weddings, but also for really, really high-end work. So it's really found a place in the market where it's being used alongside top-end cameras, but obviously at an affordable price point where people can utilise that even if they aren't starting with very, very high budgets. So that's been really exciting for us. We've recently had a TV series on the ABC called The Warriors, which was shot by John Brawley. Shot solely on URSA Mini, which is a first for us. So it's quite often being used as a B camera or a C camera on various drama and feature films. But yeah, this is the first TV series that's actually shot for all of the cameras. So that really shows that it can stand up in its own right and not necessarily just be an add-on camera, but actually a camera that's really producing some amazing results.
Oh, absolutely. Certainly the images that we've just looked at there before have a really nice cinematic feel, and I think certainly Blackmagic design integration with DaVinci Resolve and the understanding of the colour science has also been really a big factor in people being able to achieve the sort of look that they've been able to achieve in this material. And I think that's been another unique feature that Blackmagic have been able to bring to the market, this tight integration from the production into post, and it's probably something that I believe that post-production starts when the light hits the sensor, and I think in the way that Blackmagic work with URSA Mini Pro and its integration Resolve, seems like you guys think a similar way too.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time when we were developing the sensor and bringing the camera up to being ready for production, both with the 4.6K Mini and with the Pro. Spent quite a bit of time on just the colour science and making sure that it had a really nice natural colour response across all sorts of different light sources, so not necessarily just in tungsten or daylight, but right across the board. And we also spent quite a lot of time kind of tuning the color science so that while you're starting with a film log-like image, it doesn't take a long time to get to a starting point with a color grade where you're in a comfortable space. And I think that's something that, while it's not necessarily something you can quantify easily, it's actually something that when you start doing a production, if you're a colorist doing dailies on a TV show or a feature film or something like that, if it's saving you a few seconds or a minute on every start of every grade, then that actually adds up over time, and it really, you know, can mean that the person who's doing that color grading is getting to the creative part of the color grading much earlier and not necessarily spending time trying to get to a comfortable starting point. So we're really proud of what, you know, what people have been shooting on the cameras, and yeah, really proud that they've been so widely adopted.
Yeah, well, it's certainly, the images speak for themselves, and let's face it, that's the important thing. What everyone's been able to achieve with these cameras is some lovely results, and the development with the URSA Mini and URSA Mini Pro moving forward has been great to see, and we certainly look forward to seeing plenty more. So thanks for your time at Broadcast Brains today, Tim. And just to conclude, we'll go and roll the series of material that Blackmagic have on the URSA Mini, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.